What is going on today, guys? Welcome to another video. My name is Jay. This is Digital 360. Today's topic is going to be a quick one. That is the topic of guitar picks, or as they are officially called, plectrums. You know, you go to your local guitar store, you see a cool guitar, you grab it off the wall, you plug into an amplifier, you turn it on, you're almost all set, and you're like, hey, sales guy, can you hand me a plectrum? Silly joke. Anyways, guys, as you are probably aware, there are all different types of picks, right? There's so many brands making picks now. There's different shapes, sizes, material composition, thicknesses, so many factors differentiating all these different types of picks. You might feel a little bit of option paralysis as far as, trying to find the right pick for you. And let me just preface this video by saying this. I am not here to tell you what pick you need to use. That is ultimately your decision, and you're gonna find what works best for you. I'm just here to help you kind of pare down the different options to better determine what might be, best suited for you. So first off, I wanna start the video by telling you what kind of pick I use now. So I have been playing the guitar for several decades, and over the course of that time, I have changed the types of picks I've used to ultimately arrive at the one I use today, which for me is kind of the Goldilocks pick, kind of the gold standard for me, if you will. I wanted to find a pick that was kind of an all-arounder, something that would kind of work in all different situations, whether I was, strumming 6-string chords, playing through a clean tone, whether I'm doing shreddy 3-note per string speed licks, or just some of the modern metal heavy chugs and that stuff, drop tune, rhythm guitar. I kind of wanted one pick that would sort of work in all situations, so I didn't have to jump back and forth between different ones. So I ultimately arrived at this. This is the Dunlop Jazz 3 XL. Now, hold on. I know, you've heard about the Jazz 3, right? The little red pick. It's too small. Nobody likes it except jazz players. This is the Jazz 3 XL. Every time I tell people about the Jazz 3 XL, they're always like mind blown that they didn't realize that Dunlop makes two different sizes of the exact same pick. This is the XL, which is more akin to your typical like Fender or Dunlop, your typical basic pick. I just wanted a pick that would kind of be a great all-arounder, something that's comfortable, the right shape, not too pointy, not too rounded of a tip, something that would stay in my hands, that has a decent amount of grip to it so that it's not gonna go flying when your hands get a little bit, perspiry or sweaty. And so for me, I ended up going with the Jazz 3 XL, and it just works great. Now, that being said, I do want to discuss some of the different types of picks that I have tried over the years. So obviously I've got a lot of picks here, and quite honestly, a lot of these were freebies, kind of given away with, guitars or pedals or what have you, different guitar stores. But some of these, many of these actually, I purchased for the purpose of trying to find the best pick for me. So I went through different thicknesses. Some are wafer thin like this, so just very thin, better suited for like acoustic guitar or strumming. And then I went all the way up to a 2mm, which is really, really thick. But, John Petrucci was rocking the 2 mils, and I'm like, well, he's amazing, so maybe I should use a thicker pick like he does. But, Steve Vai uses more like a 1mm. So it just depends. Your favorite players are going to use all different types of picks. Basically, it comes down to what fits best for you, what feels best. I needed something that was grippy. This kind of has like a rubber grip to it, these Ibanez picks right here, which feels pretty comfortable. The only problem with these was these were a little bit too thin, so I couldn't find a thicker version of this, but those were pretty nice right there. But for a lot of years, for many years, I was using these right here. These are the Dunlop Delrin 1.5mm. It has the number 500 in the shell of the turtle for some reason. I don't know what that represents. But yeah, 1.5 mil. These were very comfortable. They stayed in my hand. The Delrin material wore down pretty slowly, I would say. But it had a very rounded tip. And, after a lot of years of trying to do the speed picking stuff, I realized that, the rounded tip for me wasn't working so well because it's just the way it kind of attacks the string. It's going to make a difference whether it's a really sharp, pointy pick or that's not a good example. Whether it's a sharper pick like this, for instance, even, or more of a rounded tip. A lot of people like the pointier tip for the speed picking. People like Petrucci, people like Jason Richardson. They like the pointier tips, and that seems to work well for them. But you can try whatever it is your favorite musicians use, but ultimately you got to figure out what just feels best for you. There were some other picks like this Ibanez here, has kind of that sandpaper feel to it. It's kind of grippy, you know, so if you're somebody who sweats a lot, it's not going anywhere. It's going to stay in place. However, it feels like a chalkboard. I mean, it feels kind of like skateboard grip tape, but more so it just feels like a chalkboard. So it kind of has that, you know, nails on a chalkboard feel. So that's just not going to work for me. I do not like the feel of that at all. Like I said, this Delrin material was really, really nice because even when you sweat, it just seemed to help this kind of material stay stuck in your hand. I was rocking these for like 20 years plus. I just tried everything in the book. I tried every shape and size. I tried some really small ones. These were cool. This is a slightly different material. It also feels a little bit chalky, but it has the embossed logo on it, so that gives it a little bit of grip. And if it's one of those picks that only has paint, the label on one side, I tend to put that on my thumb side. I feel like that needs more grip for me. That kind of helps a little bit. So if you have that just embossed paint on just one side of the pick, just a little, you know, pro tip there. The grippy side feels better to me on the thumb, stays in place really well. But yeah, these picks, man, they're just, I keep them because, I don't know, just for posterity's sake, just kind of have them. They look cool and stuff, put them in a bowl, put them on display. But I'm not using any of these. Honestly, I'm only using my Jazz 3 XLs, which, now I can't find the one that, oh, here it is, right in the middle. That's the one I'm using. That's it. This is the only pick I use pretty much all the time, unless I'm playing, like I said, acoustic guitar, or if I specifically need some different type of pick attack from the string. Some of these picks, some of the materials will give you more of that pick scrape or squink sound when you initially hit the string. That's something you may not want, especially while you're recording. But you know, for live situations, you want to make as much noise as possible. So any pick will probably do for that scenario. But like I said, for recording, you got to get the right pick for the job. You know, also depends on what thickness strings you're using, what tuning you're in, you know, how slack the strings are. But for me, those Jazz 3 XLs are just top notch. I recommend those. So there you go, guys. That is the pick that I used, and that is how I ultimately came upon that decision to use this pick. Let me know in the comments what pick you're currently using. Let me know if you plan to try something new. And also, please let me know, did you hear of a Jazz 3 XL before today's video? I'm just curious to see if people actually knew that that existed. For me, it's just a wonderful pick. I love it. It's great. It works perfectly. But, you know, you decide what works best for you. So that's pretty much it for today's video, guys. Until next time, I'm out of here. See ya!